Hello everyone, today on the 1 Year Life Challenge we're going to talk about effortless seduction. Hello everyone, as promised in the intro, today we're talking about seduction and we're talking about the effortless seduction, not the Hollywood movies you see with people playing banjos at the front of people's house at 2 in the morning, waking up their neighbours. The real effortless seduction that comes just by the fact that your subconscious, your being is just involved with someone else, not this, this preconceived construct of buying things and diamond rings and chocolates and holidays away, which are all just purchases. Real effortless beautiful seduction. When I talk about that, so many people spend so much time stressing and worrying about what text message to send and how to attract people. We're going to go through that today in about 10 steps. But as always, I'm going to begin with a quote on the subject, and that quote is, apparently, dancing for him and throwing herself at him weren't enough. Apparently, she had to nearly commit murder to arouse him enough to attack her. From the book, The Darkest Kiss. One of the biggest complaints I get from women when we're talking about seduction or them attracting the right mate is they think that guys are dumb because they believe they're giving out all the signals necessary for guys to understand there's attraction there, and guys just sort of bumble over them. And it's really the two languages that we use. Men are very direct with verbality, so what the man is as good as his word, quotes like that, whereas women are much more subtle. They are able to use the nuances of body language to really tell a story. But the challenge is that they're more receptive to body language because they use it. Men aren't. So we have this disconnect where people are constantly getting each other wrong, and it's really illustrated in that quote, which I think a lot of women ask themselves, what do I have to do? Throw myself at this bloke for him to understand. I know personally that I didn't read a lot of signals when I was younger. There were girls that I was attracted to that were giving me, in hindsight, many signals that it was okay to move forward with seduction, but I missed those signals and waited till it was too late or avoided them, or then because of my inability to read the body language signals, I would focus my attention on people who weren't available at the time, therefore just wasting my time. It creates a lot of frustration, and you really start to think this is all too hard. We have a hectic world where you can have tough bosses, difficult deadlines, family issues. The last thing you need is to take something that's supposed to be effortless from the back of your brain, the DNA that attracts you to other people for unknown reasons, which is supposed to be effortless, and making it more difficult. So what are those ways? I've broken down these ways to make seduction much more effortless than the way it's supposed to be. So what's the number one? Assert your interest and look for the body to respond. So it's important, especially for men, to know that it's okay to let a woman know that you're interested. Women aren't dumb. They know that the guy who walked over at a party to talk to them doesn't really want to talk about modern art for the next 20 minutes. They know that guys are visual creatures. You've obviously been attracted to this person. It's okay to assert your attraction. Saying things like, you're incredibly beautiful, your hair looks exactly like my type, I think, that dress is just, you look remarkable in. And signaling your intent and letting them know that there's something about them that's attracted you there. This role playing, this sort of subtle charades is unnecessary. Once you've done that and you've paid the compliment, or you've given your attention to an individual, watch their body language. People who aren't interested will cross their arms, they won't make eye contact, they will sort of talk towards the ground, and that's a signal that your approach isn't necessarily wanted at that period. And what is dating? It's simply a compatibility game. There's nothing personal whatsoever. There's people who think Beyonce is ugly. There is beauty in the eye of the beholder. So simply assert your interest, check it as a compatibility game, and then watch the body language. The body language never lies. There's a lot of people who try to be polite, especially a lot of women. They don't want to hurt men's egos, so they play along saying, yes, and giving answers when there's no interest there whatsoever. If your intent is seduction, and that body is not giving you the signals, you should move on and give that person time to find someone who's more suitable for them. And guess what? They weren't suitable for you because they weren't interested in you. And it's a two-way deal. Always remember that. 2, women choose. That's the way it is. Women choose. I hear these stories about these guys who think they won these women, they fought and they battled and they beat this other. Women will just do the choosing. Everything you do to try and get her to change her mind using logic and reason is a waste of time. They know in their heart they're ultimately who they want to be with. Now, sometimes because of situations and circumstances, they don't always choose to be with the one they love, but they're still choosing. So understand you will not the woman is in control of the choosing process. This goes through most of the animal kingdom, where the female of the species will choose the specific mate. It goes all the way back to selecting specific genes. If a particular female animal is looking for certain genes, for example, better skin, which might lead to better immunity, she will reject those with bad skin and look for those with good skin. She is choosing, and the animals with bad skin can do whatever they want, but ultimately the female will choose. 3. Never chase. Never chase. In particular, this is big for men. Chasing someone means that at some level they are disinterested in being with you, or they're not making the effort necessary to be with you. So by chasing them, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm not worthy enough based on based on who I am. I need to force you or control you into a relationship. That's not how relationships work. You're not trapping an animal like a pet inside of an aquarium. You're creating a two-way system of love. Chasing is redundant. Now, some women like to be chased. That's more about the attention. And I can tell you, if a woman tells you she likes to be chased, what she's telling you is she probably wants to keep you in the background for a little while, or she looks at other options. Do not chase. If someone does not have the ability to communicate directly to you that they're either interested and would like to move forward or not interested, then you don't want to be asking that question anyway, because communication is at the key. Don't chase. It doesn't work. Most of the time you chase, there's only 2 ways the outcome of chasing perpetuates. One is you chase and you catch the person who you had to chase, who doesn't really want to be with you anyway. So those, whatever reason they didn't really want to be with you anyway that forced you to chase, will manifest in the relationship, and it will be a faulty relationship. Or 2, you chase them straight out of your life. They didn't have time to think about you, didn't have time for feelings to grow. You just forced them to a corner where they had to say no. Number 5, don't role play. It's confusing. Life is confusing as it is, so don't put on these acts. The worst thing you can do is walk into a bar and get out Lexus key and act like a rich person to attract a woman. But think about it. If you're attracting a woman based on that role play, what happens when they find out that you're not that person? Or even worse, what sort of person are you attracting on this role play who doesn't really want to be with the true you? Keep role playing out of it. It'd be much better to very quickly work out whether someone's compatible rather than having to filter through the stories. We owe that to each other. Number 6, don't waste time on the phone. This is not a business, right? Face-to-face human contact allows oxytocin and a lot of chemicals to really, really just supercharge your romances, and we don't allow that. We have these long-winded conversations where we know everything about our week, and when we finally get together for a day, it's boring because you've already heard everything. Face-to-face romance and love is where it's at. Adventure, mystery, contact, face-to-face. Those things can only happen face-to-face. Women are better. You end up, so many times I hear situations where partners have become therapists to their lovers because they constantly talk on the phone all the time. If you really want to be involved in your lover's life, do it face-to-face. Constantly talking on the phone will mean there's a level of separation, and ultimately you can end up just becoming friends rather than lovers, because lovers must be together to be together. Number 7, don't give it all away. These first dates that I see where people it's like a LinkedIn bio where they tell them everything about their life and they wait for the other person to tell them everything about their life. Listen, love is a mystery. Finding out about someone is like a jigsaw puzzle where you put the pieces together and slowly reveal the person. Leave some mystery in it. Don't tell them everything that's ever happened in your life. Leave some mystery and allow them to uncover. Because when we uncover things about our lovers, we feel like we own that. We feel like we went out and took the care and effort to find something out about our lover. Therefore, it's much more meaningful. Especially with men. Women love mystery. Guys, don't be going on dates telling, you would have seen on my video on going on dates, don't tell them exactly where they're going, what's going to happen. Don't give them an itinerary breakdown. Allow some mystery and some spontaneous nature to arise. The second to last one, give the other person a chance to give. One of the biggest challenges I see in a relationship when there's a high level of attraction in particular, if the higher level of attraction is owned by one party, they're constantly giving gifts, they're constantly giving compliments, they're constantly giving their attention, which is good, but remember, it's a two-way street. And even if that person is highly attracted to you, you have to give them a chance to give. You have to let them call you. You have to let them give you a gift, because that's what love's about. It's about giving. If you don't give them a chance to give, the relationship will die. And finally, never slam the door shut on a relationship. Every single relationship I've ever had in my life, no matter how much drama was brought to it, has made me the man I am today. I could not be here without those relationships. The lessons were incredibly vital. And understanding that means that to all those individuals I've dated or had relationships in the past, the door is always open for a friendship or perhaps for the right people, another romantic opportunity, simply because we all change as people, we all develop as people, and they are an important part of your life, whether you like to admit it or not. So unless they were completely toxic and destroyed your life, keep the door open, because you never know what could happen in the future. Seduction's supposed to be effortless. I mean, in the animal kingdom, you watch it, it's a 10, 20 second, 30 second process. We live busy, crazy, frustrated lives, and the last thing we need is all these games being played when it comes to seduction. These tips here will really help us think about the situation, help us be more our authentic self, and therefore draw the most authentic version of our partner towards us, rather than kissing frogs all the time. It's definitely something to think about. I can't wait to see you till tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.